Okay, folks, I was taking a look at the car, gave it a good clean up since I hadn't really had a chance to do that. And I noticed that this quarter panel has been repainted slash re-cleared. As you can, I don't know if we can show this in the video or not, but you can kind of see it was not done very well. I can't find any body filler in this section, so I'm thinking maybe it was a small parking lot thing. But whenever they did the cut and buff, they just did a really terrible job. I hope some of this is coming out in the video. It's really tough to tell. And I'm gonna try to figure out what my plan of action is. It's pretty good up on the top, but in the lower parts, you can kind of tell it looks like crap, to be honest with you. And otherwise, the paint job, there's a little bit of a repair, a touch up right there. So I think what I'm gonna do is the clear coat, and it's hard to show this in the video, but the clear coat is relatively plastered on here pretty well. I think I'm just gonna try to very carefully sand it and polish it. And I think it'll come out pretty darn nice. This area here by the door handle, I'm not sure what happened here, and I'm not quite sure what's going on there. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. This whole little area, I don't know if you can see it in the video here, they tried to smooth it out, and it looks like they went through 2 layers of clear and or paint, so I may have to tape that area off, put a little clear, just to keep it from getting too thin. But I was kind of disappointed because you don't see this in the car. When you look from here, from this angle, or just about any angle, you can't tell at all. I mean, the paint job is done well on this car. It's just that one particular spot. It just looks like crap. It really bugs me. But hopefully before the big Mopar show in April, I can get that cleaned up and looking a lot better than it does. That'll make me a lot happier. But even when you look down low, I can tell that they taped off the door. I don't know if I can. I'm going to try to show this to you in the video. But right here, there's a tape line. So they taped it off, and they got a little bit of overspray. So I have to do a little polish on that. Just not quite sure what they did. And they didn't paint the lower rocker. It's strange. I'm not sure if they even painted it, because the paint is just like a perfect match. So if they did paint it, they did a pretty good job of that. So I'm gonna try to fix that. The other issue I noticed, and I noticed this when I bought it, is that the clear coat is kind of peeling underneath this trim. And I found it odd, but this is the only spots that the clear coat is kind of coming up. And I found it odd because the rest of the paint job is not doing that. And after realizing that this quarter panel had been repainted, or repaired I should say, I realized they didn't remove the trim, which would cause the paint to not adhere very well. And I don't have any paperwork for this repair, which is interesting. I have paperwork on everything else from the owner on this car, but nothing on that. I mean, I have a receipt for sending these little signet emblems off to get redone. I have receipts for the wheels. The trim that you see on the side of the door, I have a receipt for a shop that took all the dents out and polished it. But I don't have a receipt or any type of paperwork on that quarter panel repair. So I find that odd. Otherwise, as you can see, the paint, they did a beautiful job, whoever did this car initially. I have a do have a receipt for when the paint job was done inside the engine bay, I don't actually have a receipt either or record of the paint job being done. But looking over the whole car, it's a little dusty, I apologize. You can tell that whoever did this job, they did it right, you know. And you can see here, we don't have any peeling issues around this trim right here. You don't have any of those trim issues there. So that's gonna be one of my goals. Oops, can't seem to do a video. I'm being super lazy. I really should move the car out, but it's really with white, it's very difficult to get the reflections. And as you can see, this quarter panel, I mean, look at that white fan just reflecting off the paint. Just whoever did this paint job did a beautiful job. So it was really odd when I found that quarter panel looked like garbage, but now I know why. On the plus side is, I'm not too overly concerned because it's white, and for the most part, no one can even tell that there's even an issue with it. So I guess that's just for my OCD. So that's going to be on my to-do list. I got to get that done. I'd like to get that done anyway. I did hand polish the wheels. They hadn't been polished in God only knows how long. And they came out pretty darn good. I'm walking away from them. I'm an idiot. And here's a really good look at the rims. They came out really nice. I did it hand polish. I might do it over again, just to kind of do it. They were not in bad condition at all. But when I pulled the spare out, which the previous owner ordered 5 wheels, well, the one in the trunk had never been put on the car, I realized how dull these had become over the years. So polishing them up, they really came out pretty darn nice. So I may do another round with them. The other area that I'd like to try to work on, I don't know if I can get it in the videos, this lower valance here, it's got a few scuffs on it. So I'm gonna try my best to get these repaired. And I'm gonna order the touch-up paint. I have the code, which is nice. So I'm gonna order some touch-up paint, work on it, put some clear on it, and kind of polish it all out. I'm not gonna go too crazy because it's under here. Not a lot of people are looking, but for a show, yeah, it'll look nice. Oh, my cool license plate. I love the license plates. It's one thing California does do right with their original license plates. I mean, those are just so cool looking. I do have a slight oil leak to contend with at some point. It's not bad. These are just some of the drips. It usually drips about 2 drips after it's been driven, and then no more. So, gonna look into that at some point. Probably before we drive it to Van Nuys for the show. I'm trying to see if I can't really see anything. Before we drive it to the show, gonna probably flush out the cooling system. It looks pretty darn good. I have a receipt for them putting in a new radiator. So it looks pretty good, but I want to flush it out for my sanity. It'll make me feel a little bit better. So we'll see how that goes. Flush it out, do a full tune on it. I think the valves need to be adjusted. It hasn't been done in a while. Adjust the carburetor a little bit. Probably gonna need a carburetor rebuild at some point. This ethanol fuel, if you guys are familiar, just eats these poor things alive. So gonna do that, but otherwise it looks pretty darn good under the hood. So those are just a few of the things that I'd like to do. Even have a receipt for that getting done. And there's a bug from the last time I drove it. But very clean. I'm very, very happy with this car. Future plans for the engine. Not 100% sure what I'm gonna do. We'll see. The engine has been rebuilt around 2001. Everything was gone through, but it was done to factory specifications. So I'm kind of stuck. Do we pull the engine and put another slant 6? It will remain a slant 6. I'd love to put an aluminum intake on this with a four barrel aluminum intake would be nice. You can run a fuel injection system now that's pretty darn affordable. Probably a little bit much for this car, but it would really liven it up. Aussie Speed makes some really cool dual cast iron exhaust manifolds that would be really nice. You know, there's a lot of performance parts, and you can get some decent power out of these engines. So, I don't know. We'll see. But for now, just going to enjoy the car. It's a cruiser car anyway. It's not meant to be a race car, but it would be nice to have a little bit more power out of it. So we'll see. We'll see. So, a little Valiant update. I feel bad because I hadn't done much on the Valiant, but did drive it for Halloween. Used it for a trunk or treat. I did not take very good pictures of that because, well, I suck some days. Anyways, all right, till the next time.